We live, so it is streaming.
But if you have to pass me host, will it stream properly?
That's what. No, earlier on when I dropped, it worked.
It worked, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Once it's okay. All right, so I would stay here with my microphone on and just wait for Andrea to join and then follow her guidelines after.
Right.
Okay.
Let me just share.
All right, so I would stay here with my microphone on and just wait for Andrea to join and then follow her guidelines after.
Give us a bar.
And I hear the background music loud.
Can I now?
just really background.
Yeah, in the background loud.
Let's YouTube. Let's YouTube. Yeah.
Right, so basically I just test the streaming, and the streaming seems to be working.
Right. But once you have to pass me then, but you have to hardline out again out of the Zoom to leave, or will
Now we could just run as is, streaming, and the streaming seems to be working. And the host will stop. Hello?
yeah, I know. Pass me then, but you have to hardline out again out of the Zoom to leave, or will
Now we could just run as is, streaming, and the streaming seems to be working. And the host will stop. Hello?
yeah, I know. Pass me then, but you have to hardline out again out of the Zoom to leave, or will
Now we could just run as is, and the host will stop. Hello?
yeah, I know. All right. Stop streaming there. Or we just stop sharing screens there. All right. Stop streaming there. Or we just stop sharing screens there.
Yes, sir. I didn't hear either, Darren. What's up?
Yeah, yes. So you just change the screen of the YouTube stream there.
Yeah, I'll just
stop streaming there.
Start now for
Or we
split
just stop
screen.
sharing screens there.
Yes, sir. I didn't hear either, Darren. What's up?
Yeah, yes. So you just change the screen of the YouTube stream there.
I was just testing out. Yeah, I'll just
stop streaming there.
Start now for
Or we
split
just stop
screen.
sharing screens there.
Yes, sir. I didn't hear either, Darren. What's up?
Yeah, yes. So you just change the screen of the YouTube stream there.
I was just testing out. Yeah, I'll just
stop streaming there.
Start now for
Or we
split
just stop
screen.
sharing screens there.
Yes, sir. I didn't hear either, Darren. What's up?
Yeah, yes. So you just change the screen of the YouTube stream there.
I was just testing out. Yeah, I'll just
stop streaming there.
Start now for
Or we
split
just stop
screen.
sharing screens there.
Yes, sir. I didn't hear. Darren, you there?
Yeah.
Anybody who come in, because they start coming in the next rooms now, just bring them in. Find out who it is. The person who in charge of this room is somebody called Andrea.
Right.
So we'll just have to make her co-host, right?
Yeah. You have host right now.
Yeah, I'm transferring host to you now.
Right.
Now, when I transfer host to you, make me co-host, right?
Okay.
Right. So you are host now.
Yeah, I'm a ghost.
Nice.
Mr. Ramlas, you going to keep this screen shared, or Andrea after when she comes?
Yeah, Darian, you are saying something to Mr. Ramdas? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I just was wondering if the share screen going to be up the entire time.
No, I think it's just for the beginning until somebody comes in.
Okay, right. I'm just waiting for Andrea, I believe, so I'll just be waiting until she comes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
We all good?
Good. I'm just waiting. I'm not the lead host. I'm waiting for Andrea to join in as well.
All right, so on the line here, tech support for this room is Darian. Darian,
Hi, good morning.
Hi. Good
when you
morning.
see that, Darian just get up, so good morning still.
I responded in kind. I remember. I said good morning.
All right, so Darian, you'll make sure for our co-host also, so she could help any controls, the issues or whatever.
Right. Yeah, let me just do that now.
And the person who is moderator in this room is Andrea.
Right. With respect to permissions, would Andrea be able to give the students permission? So I have to control.
No. Students are not in this room at all. These are only presenters, the students in the stream.
Okay. Oh, I understand.
And well, we have the backups just in case. So I'll just wait for Andrea and for the session to start.
Yep, now we are streaming already.
Yeah.
So whatever we do or say or whatever here has been streamed. So right now we just have 2 viewers on.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll be muted. If you need anything, you just WhatsApp me, or you can. Darian is in the group also.
Thank
Yep.
you very much.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Hi. Hello. Who is Joanna White? Should I admit her?
Sorry, just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Let me make sure.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi,
Hi,
good
good
afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Ms. White.
Yes, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Just say hi, how are you?
Hi, good afternoon, Ms. James. Hello. Afternoon. Helen is supposed to come in as well. There's a Helen. Okay. Okay.
So, Ms. White, are you presenting?
And Jennifer, Sophia.
So yes, myself and my colleague, Ms. Cox, will both be presenting on behalf of the OTT division. So she should be coming in at any point in time. Yeah.
All right, so that's your share screen there, right? So you're all good?
If this is my shared screen?
Yeah,
No,
that
no, it's
screen
not
is
mine.
not
No, it's not mine.
Sorry, this is, I believe it's Miss Gopal who's sharing right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So she will do the introductions. Sorry, Miss White. Sorry, Darian. She'll do the introductions and
How many students we have participating in
So, Ms. White, quick question: Are you doing a share screen also?
Ms. Cox will be sharing the screen and we will be alternated in terms of presenting.
Okay, great. So Darren will just screen share enabled, right?
Yeah,
so good? Nice. Okay, so your audio good, everything is good. So we could do it.
Yes, I'll wait for Ms. Cox to come in. One question I was asking is how many students do we have for this segment?
we are live streaming via YouTube. They would be on
I saw
a Zoom
that.
session. Yeah, so
Okay.
the number of viewers will just be on the YouTube stream.
On the
No,
YouTube link. Okay,
Yeah.
I understand.
No students will be in the room. They will all be viewing as a stream.
No problem.
Okay.
Thank you for that. My colleague, Ms. Cox, has just entered. So both I and Ms. Cox will be representing the OG division.
Hello, Joanna. I'm Andrea.
Hi, Andrea.
I don't know. I don't see the option to get my video on.
Hold on, I would enable it.
If
Okay.
Who is speaking right now? Is it Andrea?
I'm supposed to be the host.
Okay, I'll have to promote you to co-host. All right. Could you do it now?
I can do it now. Sure. Once I could. I'm not seeing. Let me see. Start video.
All right.
Hi.
Okay.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Corice and Joanna. I don't know. My image is so poor. Why is that? Must be my camera quality. Not nice like yours. Okay. So from this point, where do we go? Who is our tech support guy? Raj?
Hi, I'm the tech support. My name is Darian.
Darian. Hi, Darian.
Hi, Miss Andrea.
So, so walk us through, what do we do from this point? I put up this career fair thing so that you guys could have it to put it up, because I didn't have Raj email to send it.
Okay.
So any students coming in would, at least see something. Just trying.
I believe students aren't coming exactly in the Zoom call, but it's being streamed to YouTube. So all the students should be looking on YouTube and placing their comments there. And the persons who are presenting will be here on Zoom.
Okay.
Right, so the stream has already started, so we do have some students watching. So is it that we all good? So Ms. Cox, you are presenting first, right? Are you doing
Yes,
a share
I am.
screen? Are you doing a share screen and so on?
Yes, I am. And
Just make
my
sure
only
that you-
question would be is that the students are streaming on YouTube. So at the point where we need to facilitate questions, how do we get those questions?
All right, so Andrea, you'll be handling that, right? What number are you using to get the questions in? Would it be your number? Or?
Yes, we could use my number.
We'll just need to inform them before. So what we'll do, Ms. Cox, is the students will be WhatsApping their questions to Andrea, and as the moderator, she'll be fielding the questions to you all.
Perfect. Thank you.
You'll give them the number as part of your introduction.
Okay.
Also one thing, YouTube delayed, Mr. Ramlas? I didn't check that.
You get like about a 10 to 15 seconds delay, and depending on the internet capability, could go up to about 30 seconds. So there's a delay.
Okay.
I need to try and get a better. That helps any. A little better, brighter.
What is causing your lighting situation, Andrea? Is that light behind your head on the ceiling?
Take
on
that
the wall
off.
behind? That is what is creating your backlight.
Any better or not?
Yep, much better, because now you don't have the light distraction behind you.
Okay. I have an extra light on my face, but I guess it's reflecting in my glasses. Take it off and see. But I'm not facing the light. That is a bad thing where I have my laptop. So I guess you ladies must be all versed in the virtual world now. That's the way it goes.
We are getting there. I wouldn't say we're experts, but we are developing. So there's room for trial and errors.
We all on a journey.
We are.
Swim or sink. Yeah.
Joanna, I just want to test the video and let me know if you are hearing.
Sure.
If you're getting any feedback on my end.
Sure. I think that Ms. Gopal may have to stop share her screen.
Okay.
Because yeah, she's a co-host. I don't think they made us. Yeah, we are all co-hosts.
Okay.
So, right. So then you can probably share your screen.
So Darian, just for safety, can you make Joanna co-host also? So if they're all co-hosts, they'll have full support.
Yeah, I am
I
co-host.
just did it.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Okay, so tell me if you're seeing the screen.
I'm seeing your PowerPoint presentation.
Okay, excellent. And let me just go to the second.
Not seeing it?
I'm looking for the video.
The web page tab has to be open on the video itself.
Yeah, it is open. So I'm just looking for the option in the share button before we begin. I'm not seeing it, but I'm going to try something. Let me
Looking for allow audio.
Oh, there we go. I found it.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I mean, if you're hearing, well, there's no audio, but let me see. Tell me if you're seeing.
Yeah, joining us.
I'm seeing, not hearing.
There's no audio coming through.
Yeah.
So
stop share your screen, and when you start back the process and enable audio from on the share screen side. Let me see that. Hold on a second. I was trying not to mix it up with Teams.
But is there audio in that particular clip?
No, once you go on share screen, at the complete bottom right left hand corner, you see share sound or optimize a video clip. So before you click on the web page, click share sound and then click the web page that you want to pull up.
Got it.
That should allow you to share.
Tell me.
Ladies, as you guys check, we have asked to register, and our pre-registration has been kind of low so far.
Here. Can you repeat that, Ms. Gopal?
I said we have asked students to pre-register, and our pre-registration has reflected that the it is low so far, but we're hoping that as time and the days go on that it will increase.
Okay, how much you got pre-registered? Just for our reporting purposes once we go back to the office.
We have it registered in different categories. I wouldn't be able to answer that, but I think.
Oh, okay. I thought they had a summary of the total amount.
It will, but I don't have it. Mr. Raj is our, and Darian, our tech people.
I'll pull the data up just now because this is Form 6, right? So I'll just sort by Form 6.
I think.
No problem.
students so just killing themselves to do their SBAs and IE.
I understand.
But the good thing about it is I understand that, you know, this will be recorded and we'll be able to show it over, or they can access it again.
Okay.
So we have 90 in right now.
Okay. Thanks. Well, our starting time. Should we switch across?
Yep, we are all live. We get started.
Good day, students, and welcome to our first ever virtual career fair for the Victoria District. I'm very sorry that we cannot see you in person as we usually do. There are no booths for you to be browsing this year, and little tokens for you to collect. But we are trying our best to bring the world of work to you. We do have some very exciting presentations today as we welcome you. And our very first presenters today will be from the Ministry of Labor. And we would like to welcome them, Ms. Corrice Cox and Ms. Joanna White. As we progress today, please note that if you have any questions for them, you can send it to our WhatsApp number. Our WhatsApp number is 704-0780. 704-0780. Students, please write that down. So if you have any questions for them, we will be able to see it and pass it on to them. So at this time, I want to leave the floor open for our guests and invite them to begin their presentations. Welcome, ladies. Very happy to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. So let me get a confirmation that you are seeing my screen before I proceed. Okay. Okay, excellent. Let me just remove this. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. It is such an honor to be here this afternoon. It's an exciting time. I know that some of our students are heavily engrossed in work, but again, we're taking the time just to get some information to share about your future. So my name is Ms. Cox, Ms. Corrice Cox. I'm a Placement and Marketing Officer 2, assigned to the South region of the On-the-Job Training Program. And basically, I would match applicants based on their skills, based on their experience, or even based on their qualification, really with a training opportunity, right? And we have Ms. Joanna White, our Senior Training Officer, and I'm going to just let her introduce herself a little bit.
Hi, students. Good afternoon. Welcome. My name is Joanna White, and I am the Senior Training Officer within the Training and Development Unit of the OJT program. And basically what we do within the Training and Development Unit is once you are placed with a training provider, we prepare you to transition into that training environment through a training program. This is where we both work together, Ms. Cox and myself, to make sure that you get the best out of your training opportunity. So I'm going to hand back over to her. She's going to take over the first part of the presentation, then I will come in.
Definitely. Thank you, Ms. White. So a brief overview of what we're going to get into. First, we want to speak about what the program is, basically a purpose, who we target, etc. We're going to speak about the stipend levels, which is directly related to your qualifications. We will speak about registration, the placement process, and of course, we will end off with entering the world of work. First thing. So you're in Form 6. You're going to come out with your age, just now your CAPE rather, and you're going to have your certification. And some of you are going to go into probably university, and some of you are actually going to look for work. And we have one little issue here. You have your qualifications, you want to get to the workplace, but there's something in the middle called experience, meaning you apply for a job and they're asking for 2 years experience. But in order for you to get the experience, you need a job. In order to get the job, or what is required for the job, is the experience. So we have a disconnect. And what happens in the middle, and I'm going to go ahead here, this is where the OJT comes in, because we want to bridge the gap between your qualifications and you being employed, because you need that experience to get to the employment aspect of it. So a little background, the Ministry of Labor is our overarching ministry. The OJT division is funded, or under the Ministry of Labor, sorry, we would have been transferred there since 2017. And what we seek to do is basically offer participants between the ages of 16 and 35. Yes, that is a sort of a large age group, but between the ages of 16 and 35, we want to offer them experience, or the opportunity to gain practical experience and working skills in the world of work. We offer training opportunities for both the public and the private organizations. Yeah? So how long can you be placed on the program? Each citizen is entitled to 24 months, 2 years. Okay, so what if some of you would have applied to the program and you would have worked for 6 months? What happens? You're still entitled to that 1 year and 6 months. Whatever time you've worked on the program, you can get the balance period, because based on our documentation and policy from the ministry or from Parliament, each citizen is entitled to 24 months on the program. Stipend levels. Earlier on, I would have referenced that your qualification is based, or the stipends is based on the qualifications that you have. So I'm going to go through it quickly with you. If we start at level 1, we would see if you have a CXC or a craft level training, you will receive a stipend of $3,035. If it is you would have received, or you have a CAPE or A-level or diploma, you would be pegged at the level 2 stipend, right, which is $4,356. Now we're looking at the 3rd level now, which is your associate degree. You will receive $5,445. If it is you have an undergraduate degree, you will be pegged at the level 4 stipend, and you would receive $7,562.50. And lastly, our level 5, which is your postgraduate degree, you will be entitled to $8,712. Let's talk about the registration process, right? First of all, you need an application form. On this screen, there's our Ministry of Labor's website. If you go to the website and you click on the tab called OJT, you would see some of the information that we're giving you here today, and you'll have access to the form. So you're going to go to the website and you're going to get our OJT application form. Once you've completed the form, there are 5 critical things that you need to submit. So that first thing is your birth certificate, right? The second thing is your national ID card. A lot of times persons come in with their driver's permit, which is fine, or your passport, right? But what we need in this instance is your national identification card. We are looking for your resume. Tell us about yourself and where you've worked, if you have worked, or what qualifications you have. we're looking at your academic certificate. What do you have? Do you have CXC? Sorry. Do you have CAPE? What qualifications or academic certificates you have? You need to present copies of this as well. And lastly, your utility bill. Now, we understand that you're young. Some of you guys may not have access to a utility bill on your name. So in the event that you're using, let's say your mother or some sort of family member, it's fine. All you need to get from them is, the first thing is the authorization letter. They give you permission to use the utility bill, and you also submit a copy of their utility bill, right? So again, those 5 things in order to register in the program. Alongside the application form, we have the birth certificate, the national ID, resume, academic certificate, and the utility bill. You may want to know where exactly you can drop off these documents. Now, the information is on the screen, but I'm going to really hone into the head office, right? Of course, we have a location in Central, East, Tobago, West, South. South has 3 locations, but our head office, right? For the OJT head office, we are located in Shagona. So wherever you are located, in terms of where you live, you can download the form. You look at one of the regional offices or look to see where they are located, and you can drop off your application form with copies of those documents to any one of the regional offices. But remember, the OJT head office is in Central. We are located at the corner of Chaguanas Main Road and Connector Road, Chaguanas. Okay? You're going to see this slide again later on in the presentation, but I'm going to move on just for the sake of time. Accreditation. This is very important. I'm not too sure if you guys may have heard the term accreditation thrown about here or there, but what does it mean to be accredited, or what does accreditation mean? And in simplest term, in general terms, it's the accreditation is a process of being certified as a credible and authentic source. Now, in Trinidad and Tobago, we are governed, or all our certificates or our programs and schools, they are verified by ACTT. I'm going to say that again, ACTT. It's the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, they are the body responsible for saying whether or not a program or a certification is accredited. What I would suggest that you do, especially as you're in Form 6, or even if you're in another form and you're just looking to see what are your next steps, you should visit the ACTT website. They have a list of organizations that are accredited, and that would better guide you. Now, what does it mean to have an accredited certificate? It simply means that you can work anywhere in the world. Yeah? All right, so let's talk about the process and what that means for you. So I'm just going to go back a bit. We would have spoken about the purpose of the program. Of course, we want to bridge the gap between you getting your qualifications and you going to the world of work, because you need experience. That's a prerequisite. But when you come out of school, you don't have the experience. The OJT program comes in between to bridge that gap. Right, so you're going to register. This is our process. You register with the OJT. Of course, we would have spoken to the copies of the documents that you would need. I'll just repeat it for ease of reference. That would be your ID card, your birth certificate, your resume, your academic certificate, and your utility bill, right? So once you register, you would have dropped it off to one of our regional offices. The second step in the process is the interview. Yes? You have to do an interview. So at this point, what is going to happen is you're going to bring the original to the copies of what you would have submitted previously. So you're working with your original birth certificate, your original ID card, your original utility bill, your original certificates, and of course, well, your resume, you have a copy of that, right? So at the point of the interview, what the OJT program does is they not only, one, verify the documents to make sure that they are authentic, but two, we sort of ask you some basic questions to kind of gain or really gauge where you are in terms of your soft skills and even your academic criteria, certification, sorry. So at the interview, we get a general idea of the person we're working with, the applicant we're working with, which really makes it easier now for us to place the person, right? So that's the second thing. We've registered, you've gone through the interview process. The third thing is training. Once we would have shortlisted you for a training opportunity, we're going to send you to training. Now, before COVID, training would have taken place for like 5 days at the Cipriani Labor College. And we would have gone through some basic skills with you in terms of conflict management, communication, because again, not everyone going into the workplace has experience. That means you would need some basic coaching as to some things you need to look out for or some things you need to avoid. So that week-long training would have guided you in some basic principles before going into the workplace. Currently, we have our training virtually, something like this setting here. And again, we deliver the same sort of content. So we would have gone through 1, registering. 2, we would have done our interview. 3, we would have gone through the training period with the OJT. And 4, you are now a trainee. So at this point, we assign you to a provider and you go into the workplace. And on the workplace, you get skills or you get experience relative to your area of study or interest, etc. So the OJT at the training will tell you about conflict management, etc. But when you get into the workplace, let's say we assign you as an engineer, you now get the training that is specific to you going out on or how to put it, reading certain or preparing certain reports or reading certain building maps, etc. You get the training that's relative or specific to your area of study or career interest, right? So on the right side of this slide, you're going to see 1, register, 2, interview, 3, training, 4, trainee. These 4 components now prepare you for the world of work or allows you now to be more prepared to bridge the gap between you just having your qualifications and you going out to be an employee. So I'm going to pass you on to Ms. White right now. She's going to speak to you about life after secondary school.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. For some of you, after receiving your exam results, you may choose to further your studies onto Cape or probably tertiary education with one of our local university or probably an international university. For others, you may decide that, hey, I want to experience the world of work and I want to earn an income. This is where the OJT program comes into play. After we match your academic skills, so if you came out of secondary school with either CXC or Cape, we match you according to our stipend level. We look for a training provider, any labor market for you. Then we place you with a training provider. Before you go out into the world of work, we then assist you in developing the professional and interpersonal skills necessary for success in the workplace. We also encourage you to adopt specific strategies, positive work attitudes in order to enhance your chances of sustaining employment after the 24 months period. All right. I want you to look at the slide that's up. Most time once we have new trainees coming in, they tend to ask some of these questions, which is okay. Sometimes you may not know. So they will ask, what are the jobs that are in demand? What are the most high paying jobs? Which training placement can you get me that I can get a promotion faster? I want to say to you that these are actually the wrong questions that you should be asking. And let me tell you why. Ms. Cox is going to play us a video, and I want you to look at this video with this gentleman who had no idea exactly what he wanted to do. And he was more or less trial and error in careers. And that may have been some of us, some persons with some years experience before they really learn exactly what they wanted to do. They may have been a trial and error. And then for some others, they may have had an organization similar to the on-the-job training program that will have placed you in a training environment that give you a ground or foundation to kick off your career. So I'll wait till Ms. Cox share her screen with the video. I want you to take it in terms of this person looking for employment and again, looking for the highest paying job or one more to demand. So he enters an employment agency and search the board for a job that he thinks that he can do. So let's see which one he picks. Interesting. So as you can see, Kelly has no idea what to do, but he's trying something. He's winging it. So that didn't work out. He went back to the employment agency to look for another job. Let's try. He's going to try his hand as a plumber. It seems to work. The leaking stop. He's going to try another curve. And this do happen in the workplace, huh? So he was fired. Yes, some jobs you cannot make a mistake in. So then somebody will lose their life. Let's see what's his last option. Clearly he knows what he's doing, right? He will have found what he loves to do and what he's good at. And that's the point we want to drive home to. Once you are leaving secondary school and entering into the world of work, don't be asking any questions. What is the highest paying job? Which job is going to get me promoted in 6 months? I want you to ask the question, what am I really good at? What can I do that makes me
Ever since I can remember,
what am I passionate about?
Been asked.
What
A
skills?
question I'm sure all of you
What
here today
skills do I have?
heard dozens of times
Just
before.
wait, does Miss Cox mute her mic a little bit for me?
What do you want to do after school?
Yeah. So
But I've recently concluded that this most frequently asked question,
the video.
generations of
it for my next video.
Is now one we need to delete. It needs to be moved to the spam.
Yeah. Okay. So the question just to reiterate what I was saying before, the question I want you to ask and want you to look inward is, what is it that I'm passionate about? What is it that gives me the most satisfaction when I do it? Sometimes you lose track of time and you may even forget that you're doing it for money. So there are specific skills in the workplace that enable us to be successful at what we do. And this is what I want to get into. Once you go to the secondary school, you will have learned certain technical skills, which will be in mathematics, English, sciences, whether it's in the creative arts. And once you come into the world of work, you will have gotten a job based on your technical skills. But your ability to sustain employment and be good and successful at what you do are called your interpersonal skills, which is where we come into the world of work. So the world of work is made up of a lot of things, and you may come across a lot of terms about it as you start looking for a job. You may come across the terms of occupation, jobs, employers, salary, promotions, careers. Although we all recognize these things, we say the experience that you experience with these things will be totally different. So I want you to imagine that you and your classmate complete secondary school, maybe at the CXC level, and you got your CXC results, and you both got the same grade and the same subjects. You happen to apply for the same job, and the company will have had more than one position with the same title, and you got the job. Now, what makes you different from your classmate once you start engaging and going forward to complete your deliverables will be your interpersonal skills. So let Miss Let's go on to the next slide. So these are the skills that are necessary for the workplace. And you may tell yourself, hey, I finished school, I need a break from the school. They will have frustrated me with all this SBA and going to classes whole day online. I'm really tired. I want to go out there. I want to make some money. I gave in learning a break. So I want to bust a bubble. Learning don't stop. So once you enter into the workplace, learning continues. And this is what we call the soft interpersonal skills, those personality traits that makes you different from your classmate in the workplace is the way you communicate. Because you will be having a lot of that to do. You may tell yourself, I'm introvert. I really don't like to talk much to persons. But you will have to do a lot of routine communication in terms of reports, how you write emails, even if, depending on the organization, you go into like a public service, you may have memos to write. Communication is important, and also how you present. So some companies you will have to do an oral presentation, or you also how you speak to their customers and how you engage with colleagues. Another skill you will develop is emotional intelligence, and that comes down to how you control your emotions in different situations. So in a school place, you may be in school and you're with your boys and you feel, and it's okay for us to quarrel and we back chat and we call each other names, and that's all right. We understand each other. But once you come into the workplace, that behavior will not be acceptable. So you need to understand how your emotions affect other persons and also take into consideration their emotions at a point in time. That's called emotional intelligence, which is EI. So I know you go to school for IQ, but once you come into the workplace, it's EI, most important. That is what helps you sustain employment, and sometimes EI actually gets you fired depending on how best you treat with it. Problem solving is another skill you're going to develop. And it's a bit of an expansion from the problem solving you will have done in your mathematics and science. Sometimes you may be in a scenario, a situation where you need to come up with a solution. You need to develop your ability to take that scenario, break it down into parts, examine each part separate with no form of bias, and come up with an unbiased solution. That's called problem solving. We're talking about customer service. Some companies have a lot of customers, and in order for them to continue to operate, their customers drive their operations. So you have to treat those customers with gloves and as best as possible, take in consideration your emotions. Things like self-management, how you manage your time to complete tasks, are you meeting deadlines? And I know you will have had experience with that from your SBA, because I guess your SBA has a timeline that takes into consideration time management. How are you managing your time to get that SBA in by Friday, 4 p.m.? Don't think that finishes when you come into the world of work. You're going to get reports, and reports are going to have a timeline attached to it. You need to submit your report by a particular time within a particular format. And then again, you will have to work in teams. So sometimes you have to submit a report and you have to work with an input from other team members. Your EQ, your EI will come in to consideration there in terms of, in terms of how you relate to other persons in a team to get a job done. And then again, we are all unique. Our personality are unique. You are going to get into conflict. and how you handle conflict in the school environment is not necessarily how you will handle conflict in the workplace, and there's a process to go about handling conflict and again thinking critically. So these are some of the skills that are so essential to once you enter the workplace. And again, as I mentioned, your CXC and your CAPE certification are what are going to get you in the door, but your ability to sustain your employment and move up in terms of promotion will depend on your interpersonal skills. So you may ask, how do I go about getting these skills? I'm interested because I really want to get a job. You already started to, and I will have mentioned it before. In schools, once you're working in group work, that will take into consideration your communication as well as your teamwork, how you manage as a team player. Are you somebody in a group assignment, you lagging behind while everybody else is doing all the projects, and you're like, okay, I'll probably get put in 1 or 2 input, but again, the same grade. You get those skills there. How it is you engage in teamwork, social activities. So sometimes you may have certain social activities that you go that has a lot of communication, how you communicate with each other. That again filter into the workplace. Things like volunteer work, sporting activities, hobbies. Some of the hobbies you do. Some persons may do hiking. Again, community work, your household chores. Sometimes again it goes back, hey, you have to clean the yard or probably wash your wares. You have to gauge, okay, how long it will take me to do this in terms of time management. And set aside 2 hours to do this. Again, you get some other skills there. And most importantly, once you come through the on-the-job training program, you are guaranteed to get most of these skills once we place you with a training provider. You will be engaging with colleagues and customers, and that will give you the opportunity over 24 months to develop those skill sets. So I want to go on to, I want to go on to the next slide, where I want to give you may hear me talking about these skills and you want to know exactly how valid are they. So I know my screen is not seeing that well, so I'll talk off of it. Now, this is actually data pulled from employers within the industries in Trinidad and Tobago, and they will have highlighted some key skills that are so important in the workplace. So I'll use my sheet just to call it some of those. Some of the extremely important punctuality and regularity. And then again, that starts from school. What time are you showing up for classes? How often are you in classes? That filters into what time are you showing up for the job? How often are you in work? Are you taking every Fridays off or every Mondays off because you want to get a long weekend? That is important in terms of punctuality and regularity. Sometimes your absence may affect the operations of a company, and that can filter down to loss of profits. So companies really value regularity and punctuality. Another thing that's important is called business ethics. What are you doing when we are not watching you? In terms of integrity, in terms of trust, in terms of honesty. Are you stealing a toilet paper when nobody's watching because they tell yourself, hey, I could save some money on the side? Yeah, so companies really value that. Another thing that they value a lot in terms of the stats is your willingness to learn. So once you go into the work environment, you can go in there and say, hey, I came out of university. I spent 3.5 years sweating. I know everything that has to be done according to this job. You don't need to tell me what needs to be done. Companies don't like that attitude. They want you to come in with that humility that, hey, I want to learn more about your company and I want to learn how I can add value to your company based on the education I will have acquired. And some other things that they value as well in terms of conflict management, attention to detail, how you plan and organize your work, your awareness of the company. So you can be working for a company for a year and somebody asks you, what do they do? I don't know. I just answer the phones. No, that's not acceptable. You need to understand who they are, who are their competitors, who are their customers, and where they are going. You need to have an awareness of the business as well as working with others on problem solving, right? So once you come through the OJT program, after we place you, the training and development unit help you develop some of these skill sets. So I'll hand back over to Ms. Cox, who will share with you some of our success stories.
Thank you, Ms. White. So I have some of our trainees, or past trainees, I should say, who would have been OJTs and now they are currently employees of the organizations they are at. I wouldn't go through, because I'm again looking at the time, but I wouldn't go through each individual, but I'll highlight 1 or 2. Or you could also visit our IG page, which is the Ministry of Labor's page, and you can get some full details. But I'm going to look at Mr. Daniel Hussein. Now, Mr. Daniel Hussein, he was a clerical assistant at SWARA, and now he is a sterile services assistant at SWARA. right? So we have Mr. Daniel Hussein, who came through as a trainee. He would have gone through the process. We spoke about the process, the registration, the interview, the training, and being placed at the organization. And then Ms. Mike White would have spoken about some of those softer skills, those things that the organizations are looking for. This is literally the end of the journey, or what we really want you guys to get out of being a part of the program. You get the experience, you get the training, and now you're more employable, right? We have, I'm going to the other slide. We have, I want to highlight Miss Cindy Mirage and Miss, well, this is supposed to be Miss Shindell Brown, right? Now, guys, you've been hearing a lot of cough of late because of what's going on in the country, because of COVID, etc. Now, these two young ladies were, I must say I'm a bit proud, they were previously my trainees. Miss Cindy Mirage was in the accounting department, and Miss Shindell Brown, she was in logistics. And again, after the 24 months, after the training, after the engagement, and it's not just, you know, you're sent as a trainee and I'm going to keep my head down and I'm just a trainee and I can only do X, Y, and Z. Again, that willingness to learn and you being open, so a lot more possibilities will land you in the right position. So Miss Cindy Mirage, Miss Shindell Brown, one of the trainees, or some of the trainees who would have gone through the program and now they have more permanent employment. Again, I said we would have revisited this slide right before we take the questions and answers. I just want to remind you guys of our regional offices. And at this point, seeing that we're almost to the end, I'm going to go into it a little more. Those schools or students who are in the east, of course, you can visit Anva Plaza and Tunapuna. If you're in the west, we're in the heart of Port of Spain. That is the international waterfront. You can go to level 5 in Tower C. If you are in the south, you have a lot of options. We are in San Fernando proper by the WASA building, or in Point Fortin, we have an office there, and in Siparia as well. I spoke about Tobago. If you're anyone from Tobago, we have an office in Tobago, in Glen Road, Scarborough, and lastly, our head office in Central, the corner of Shogunas Main Road and Connector Road. So reach out to us. Again, I want to really make a plea for persons to visit our social media platforms. Of course, we're in that age. We're in a virtual career fair. So go to our Facebook, go to our Instagram, go to our website, and get the information that you need, get the forms that you need, and engage us. And we can further engage you and really, you know, take this to another level as we invest in the youth, which are you. We invest in our future in terms of the need, in terms of our future and the youth in Trinidad and Tobago. So we just really want to say thank you for this opportunity. If it is, we have any questions, we will take it at this point in time. And I'm going to still leave this slide up just in case anyone wants to take some information from it.
We want to thank you on behalf of the Ministry of Education, Student Support Services from the Victoria District. Thank you very much, Ms. Cox and Ms. White. Your presentations were extremely, extremely informative. I wish I had that info when I was that age. And we do hope that we will see you in future events. And thank you very much. I know it would have been very beneficial to all the students. Thank you. Okay, students, keep tuned in for our other segment. Upcoming is the ACTT, Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago.
good afternoon, everyone. My name is Leslie Ann Brackett, and I work at the Accreditation Council. I'm currently the Senior Assessment Officers. And with me, I have my two colleagues, and I will allow them to introduce themselves.
Hi, good morning. My name is Esther Ward, and I am an Assessment Officer at the Accreditation Council.
Hi, good afternoon. Sarah Bullen, Research Assistant with the Qualification and Recognition team.
Great. So the three of us will be guiding the students this afternoon through our presentation. Usually we would have a PowerPoint presentation, but this afternoon we wanted for it to be more personal with the students, and so therefore we are going to speak to all the students, and then after we have a question and answer segment. So just to jump right into it, I'm going to take the students through an overview of our services, and also to zero in on the recognition service, which is the service that is most applicable to the students today. And then we would end it off with a small session where we would give you do's and don'ts, how to take care of your certificates, because I presume all students are in Form 6, and so therefore at some point in time you would go to a university or attend a tertiary institution, and you may want to know how to take care of your certificates, what to do, what not to do. So to jump right into things, the Accreditation Council is the principal body in Trinidad and Tobago that has the authority to quality assure post-secondary and tertiary education in this country. Now, we offer a number of services. One is conferment of institutional title. We also offer the registration service for institutions, accreditation service for institutions, recognition, as well as program approval. But for the purposes of this afternoon, we will focus on recognition, because recognition is the service that is most applicable to students, especially those in Form 6. So without further ado, I pass it over to my colleague, Ms. Esther Ward. She will take you through what is really recognition, then give you examples of the statement of recognition, the benefits of it, and then my colleague Sarah Bullen will actually show you how to apply for statement of recognition. So this would be a very informative session, and I hope that you take notes. And so when it comes to the question and answer segment, you can feel free to ask your questions, and we look forward to answering your questions. So over to you, Esther.
Hi, I'm Sofian. Hello, good morning, everybody. Well, good afternoon now. In order for you to understand how important recognition is, I'm going to tell a little story so we can bring it into our context. And this story is, you can say, 90% true. So there was this boy who was interested in being a dentist. And he told his parents when he was in Form 4 that he was interested in being a dentist. The parents told him, if you do well, and your grades are good, we're going to save, we're going to do all that we can to send you to a great school to complete your dentistry degree. So in Form 4, he did well, his parents saved. Form 5, he did extremely well at his TXC, and his parents saved even more. Upper 6, lower 6, he did well. So now when he finished A-levels, he told his parents, well, I've got to this point, I'm ready to leave. The parents said, okay, well, you do a little research online, find a school that you're interested in, and we will pay for it because we've been saving all this time, and we're so proud of our son. The young man went online, he did some research, he found the school that he was interested in, he came back and he told his parents. His parents, they applied for the school, he got through. The parents took their hard-earned savings and they paid for his schooling. The young man left trying to be low. Now, we all know how cold it gets in America and in the UK. So imagine being in the UK for all those years, about 4 to 5 years to finish. Hold on 1 second, I'm seeing something on my screen here. I'm not sure if we're supposed to do something. Hello, is anybody hearing me?
Yeah, hold on. I'll find out from Mr. Ramnas. Give me a second.
Yes, we are hearing you. You can proceed.
Oh, you can proceed. Oh, something came up on the screen.
So we can click out, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So everybody was hearing me. So back to my fabulous story. Back to my fabulous story. Right. So as I was saying, imagine being in the States or in the UK for 4 to 5 years. Imagine enduring the cold. Imagine not having your parents around, fighting to make those grades, fighting to pass those exams, sometimes having just enough money to make it through to buy your groceries. I'm going to call this young man John. John did all of that and he graduated. So imagine now how proud his parents were when he came back to Trinidad with his dentistry degree. His parents were so proud. And I mean, imagine if you saved all this money, you sent your child abroad and he came back with his dentistry degree. Now, in order to work in Trinidad and Tobago, you need to register with the Dentist Association. So John took his brand new shiny certificate to be registered. When he went to be registered, they told him, okay, I'm not sure about this school. You know what I think you should do? I think you should go to the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago and get what is called a Statement of Recognition. When you get that document will tell us about your school. It will tell us if your school is a good school, if it has been quality assured, if we can trust the education that you got at that school. John now is thinking, well, I went to school in the States. I mean, what could go wrong? So he took his certificate, he came to the Accreditation Council. My colleague, Ms. Bullen, is going to explain to you how he filled out the form for Statement of Recognition. But he filled out the form, he brought in his certificates, and we did some research. We researched the school and the program. And when we researched the school and program, we found out that his school was not accredited and it was not recognized. Now, what does sink in? Imagine going to a school, putting out all that money and all that time and doing a degree that you cannot use because the school was not accredited and the program is not recognized. The Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago does not want that to happen to our nationals. That's very important that we help our nationals make good decisions. The Statement of Recognition states whether your school and program are recognized. And you would want to know that information before you go to a school. Because imagine going to a school and coming back to home and you cannot use that degree. We do not want that to happen. There are schools outside there that you can refer to as diploma mills. Schools that have not been accredited. When we say a school is recognized, when we say a school is accredited, we are saying that a group of people went into that school. They looked at the program, they looked at the facilities, they looked at everything that the school offers, and they made sure that the education that that school is offering, the program that that school is offering is at a certain level. They make sure that the students are getting what they deserve. They're getting quality education, they're getting good education. So we are encouraging all students before you go to any school in Trinidad and Tobago or outside of Trinidad and Tobago, we encourage you to come to the ACTD, find out if the school and program are recognized before you go. All right, so we're also going to talk about some of the benefits of getting a Statement of Recognition. In order to get money from the government, you will need to get a Statement of Recognition. That will be access to scholarships and grants. Because if you think about it, the government of Trinidad and Tobago wouldn't want to spend money on a program that you can't do anything with after, right? So that is very important. It also helps with the curriculum skills certificates. If you want to work in the Caribbean, you need to apply for a curriculum skills certificate. Nobody will want to hire a graduate that went to a school that's not recognized. So the Statement of Recognition tells your employer, it tells whoever you're going So with your certificate, that the certificate, the school and program that you attended are recognized. It will tell your employer that as well. So that are some of the benefits. Now we have two types of statements. One for persons who are going to go to the school. So before you go to the school, you can apply, just like John, he should have applied before he went to the school to find out if the school and program are recognized. We also have one for persons who have completed their program. So you can come in with your certificate, just like John did when he was complete, he came in with his certificate, and we will make a statement saying whether or not the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago recognizes that school and program. I think that's all from me. I hope my story was interesting and you understood how important it is to find out before you go to any school that it is recognized and your program is also recognized. On our website, we have a listing of all the schools and programs operating in Trinidad and Tobago that are recognized. So you can go on our website and see that information is free. But if you would like to find out about schools abroad, you would apply for the statement of recognition, which my colleague, Ms. Bullet, will take you through.
Hi, good afternoon all. Right, so as my colleague was pointing out about the types of statements on recognition, right? I'll just put up an example here on our website, right? Just for your knowledge. There's a little lag in the loading of the web page. This is the new format.
Right, we're waiting for the statement to open. So you can see, so there we go. Right. So this is an example of what our statement of recognition would look like. This is for a client that has completed their program. So you would have your name, you would have the name of the institution that you attended, where the institution is, then we would put the recognition status of the institution. Whoever accredited the school in that country, we would make sure that it is a reputable accrediting agency and that the school is accredited. We'll put that information there. We'll put it, if it is recognized there, below that we'll put the name of the recognition agency. We will tell you the current period that the school is accredited or recognized for, the levels that it is approved to offer. We will put the name of the credential as stated on the certificate. We will put the date of the credential. If you did a program like medicine, or like my friend John that did dentistry, we will put if it is accredited by the specialized accrediting body. And then the last thing is that we would say if it is recognized by the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago. We recognize a program when it has been accredited in the country of origin by the bodies given authority to do so. For example, in Trinidad and Tobago, the Accreditation Council is the body that accredits schools and programs. We have a mandate from the government to do so. When we're looking at other countries, we will look for the same body that has that responsibility in that country. Right? So this would be an example of what the statement would look like if you've completed the qualification. I don't think we have an extension up on the website, but the information will be the same. It will say whether or not the school and program are recognized. We will say the name. We will say how long it has been accredited for. The main points will be on the statement. Right?
And we also have definitions too, that will explain what is stated on the statement. So if you see quality assured, we have definitions on our website. I do not share it here, but I can pull it up so they can see. So they have definitions of what the various terms mean, because for some they may be technical terms. So as you can see here, what quality assurance means, we have, what an accredited institution refers to. So these are terms that will be featured on the statement where applicable. All right, we also have recognized institution, registered institution, what a recognized program is, foreign awarding body, foreign awarding institution. Those two give persons a little bit of trouble in terms of understanding the definition. A foreign awarding body is a body that is authorized in its country of origin to offer programs, but the foreign awarding body doesn't get involved in the teaching of the actual program. So they would franchise their programs to other institutions to deliver on their behalf. Whereas a foreign awarding institution, for example, it's like a university where they would offer qualifications in their own name. So an example is a university, and for foreign awarding body, possible example would be example like ABE, which is the Association of Business Executives, or ACCA. Those are examples of awarding body. And then one of the final definitions we have there is authorized. What it means when we put that on the statement, this is the definition. So that these terms, we thought it best to include it on the website so that persons can have a greater understanding and will avoid ambiguity. And it gives you a clearer picture of what the terms actually refer to. Because quality assurance, in the field of quality assurance, there's a lot of technical jargon, and we want for persons to be able to, when they receive the statement, to be able to digest it, internalize it, and understand what we state on the statement. Right? Sarah will take us through how to apply. So we are going to show you as a student, if you are interested in going to a foreign school or even a local school here in Trinidad and Tobago. My colleague Esther spoke about a statement on recognition, and so now we're going to put theory into practice here in terms of how to actually go about applying for statement on recognition.
Good afternoon again. Right, so I'll just take you quickly through the process. I'm just waiting for the screen to load. Right, so you can simply Google ACTC. You're going on our home page, services, recognition, and statement on recognition. Right. Do know that when the page loads, there will be all the terms and conditions that you should take note of. Should you fall short of meeting any of the terms and conditions stated here in your application, there are chances that your application will be delayed, right? So you don't want that. So pay close attention to the required documents. Good? So pre-COVID, we would have had two processing options. We would have had a fast service, which is the 48 hours. But as it is now, our main processing time frame is a minimum of 10 working days. Processing fee is 150 TT per program, per qualification, per application, right? So, and just to note that the service is strictly online. So no face-to-face applicants. You're going to our webpage, actt.org.tt, services recognition, statements on recognition, right? Take note of our payment information, which is very important, right? You can make a direct deposit if you have online banking and you take record of this transfer, or if you're unable to submit via your online banking app, you can go to any FCB branch, make a deposit, and take note of your deposit slip, right? Because when you reach into the application portal, you will be required to upload proof of payment. Good? So this little blue area, this writing blue here, will take you directly to the application page. And then, as I said, take note of the terms and conditions. You read through, you make your required notes, right? In terms, because it's students we are really speaking to, you know, you wouldn't have a certificate or anything like that just yet. This would be for individuals that would have completed their particular course of study, right? So you are now going into higher education. So this will be catering to you in this case, right? So when after you have read all the information here, you click accept, and then you go on to the page to fill in your information. Third, standard, as I said, the 48 hours still not in just as yet. So the standard application is 150, which is a minimum of 10 working days. As my colleague gave reference to John, I would go with John, right? So very quickly, put in your first name. Right. We'll go with the normal of John Doe. Date of birth, just averaging something here.
John is a young boy. He's a student.
Nationality. In this case, mailing address. And do note for the mailing address, be specific with your mailing address, right? Because the mode of delivery upon completion of the assessment, you receive an email with a PDF version of the statement. The hard copy goes out via TT Post and it's delivered to you. So any errors in your mailing address, you know that the chances are you may not receive it, right? So we don't want that to happen. jdo@hotmail.com. Purpose, and as we said, but in his case he finished, but in your purpose, as my colleague highlighted, many benefits and reasons for applying for the document, we would say in this case scholarship, right? Level of qualification undergraduates. Program. Yes, your doctor then. So. It's a surgery. Right, and should be a full-time program by program delivery, institution-based once it's at the institution that you're receiving your teaching. It would be blending if there is a mixed mode of either online or in-class sessions, and online if the entire program is facilitated directly online mode, right? Type of institution, foreign institution, right? Because remember the story, it was not in Trinidad, it was in the US. Right? So it's not here. Right, and once everything is good, you click next. As I said, foreign, you just need something. It's in for the state of country. Find out here. Country. Period of study, we ask you to average. Well, most likely when you when you receive your acceptance letter, you would have a period of study stated on the letter, right? So you can use that as an average to indicate the period of study date for the application form. Let's say it starts in August or September. And let's say it's a 5-year program or 3. Status of program, well, we have completed our pursuing, but we will be pursuing here because we haven't started just as yet. Good, and this is where we require you to upload evidence, as I was referring to earlier, proof of payment, right? So you must have this on hand to upload to the application. Upload a file from your computer. On our desktop, there is a Word document, and you would name SOR receipts. That this document will be uploaded. Good. Uploaded. Shouldn't be there, right? Just notes.
I think it's there because our file is, we made a mock-up file, it's empty, but when you upload it, it will be a full document, or it will be a scan of your screenshot from the bank, or it will be the proof of payment that you get from the bank. It will be like a pink slip that you get when you make a deposit.
Right. And your photo ID as well, you can take a scan, upload it as a case may be, with paper as well. Marriage certificates and all these other items only where not covered, right? And this is really where you have completed your qualification and you receive your award subsequent to any name change or anything like that, right? Location where you want to collect. Well, as I told you earlier, we do mail out the hard copy, so there's not really a physical collection at any of the entity's office, right? But we were just in terms of filling out the form, we would just include quarters payment. Right, so it will block you because of the error in the bank information, right?
Students, this is Mrs. Gopal. As we look on, I would just like to leave my telephone number with you so that you can WhatsApp any questions. The phone number for any questions for the Accreditation Council is 704-0780. 704-0780.
And this should take you through the end of the application process. You'll receive this little message here upon completion of the complete application. Good. So when our team member receives that application, once all the information is correct and you have met all the guidelines for submitting an application for a statement on recognition, you will receive an email. Any additional information that is required will also be stated there in the email as well, right? So this should be the application process, right? And I will head you over to our director Ms. Bradford to just wrap things up.
Okay, great. So thank you, Sarah. So students, you've got a practical presentation there in terms of actually how to go through filling the form for the statement and recognition. It is really simple. And if you're in the process of filling the form and you have any, inquiries or you need further clarification, please feel free to contact us via email and we will respond to you via our email and via the recognition@actt.org.tt. So now it's my turn, and I'm just going to give you practical tips on how to take care of your certificates. We have taken you through the process in terms of what our service is, the one that is most applicable to you at this point in time. And now we're fast tracking a little bit. So you've gone to school. You've paid for the statement of recognition. The school that you're interested in is recognized. You government scholarship winner, so you use the statement to supplement your documents as part of your, satisfy the requirements for scholarship. And so now 5 years have passed, and John has returned to Trinidad and Tobago with his shiny certificate, as my colleague Esther said earlier in her story. So now when it comes to employment, of course, the employer would want you to come to ACTT to find out, hey, is this thing recognized? Is it quality assured? Is the institution accredited? And pre-COVID, we entertain face-to-face clients. So clients will come in with a certificate and or transcript. So in cases like that, we've seen many instances of different certificates from all over the world, right? And I just want to advise you as students, you've just completed, some of you may have just completed your CSEC, and so now you're at lower 6 or upper 6 as the case may be, and some of you may be in exam mode or now in preparation to go into university or attending a tertiary institution. I just want to advise you, when you work so hard for your certificate, take good care of your certificate. Do not, first off, have it in a place that is clean and tidy. Take pride in your certificate because you would have spent at least 3 to 5 years, depending on the program that you pursue. At least 3 to 5 years of your life would have, been absorbed into earning this certificate. We've seen instances where persons come with certificates and the edge of the certificate is all eaten up. Or like you could see like coffee or something spill on the certificate, or water, you like when water spill on your certificate and it gets kind of, distorted and altered. So I want to tell you, take pride in it, keep it in a safe, dry place. What I do with my certificates, I keep them in a little display book. Now this book you can buy it by any bookstore in Trinidad and Tobago. And I find it's a very professional way to take care of your certificate. So I have a little sample here for you all to see. I hope you can see it. This is what the outside of the book looks like. And when I open it, you can place your certificates inside. I have some certificates here, but I just turned it back to front. But this is what it would look like. So each certificate goes in a sleeve, right? So this is one here. You could put another one at the back of it, and so forth. And this is what each sleeve would look like. So you could just insert it through here. And I find this is a professional way to keep your certificates. You want to keep it in a safe manner. And even if you're going for a job interview, you can present to your prospective employer with your certificates. Let them know that you take pride in not only your certificate, but in how you preserve it. So this is available at any bookstore. You can buy one, you can have it in your house. So with each certificate that you earned throughout your lifetime, you can store it here, right? I also want to advise you to do not laminate your certificate, because pre-COVID, when we entertain face-to-face clients, sometimes we feel for the authenticity of the document, and in doing so, we feel for the seal, we feel for the emblem, we look at who signed the certificate in terms of the provost. So we encourage graduates not to laminate your certificate, and don't expose it to sun and rain and water or anything. Keep it safe and dry. Don't roll it. Sometimes persons come, they have their certificate. When they pull it out of the canister, the certificate cannot even lie flat. It's all rolled in and all bent. So we want to urge you, take care of your certificates, right? And it really projects a professional image for you as students. When I was your age, I didn't know anything about this. But as time progresses, you know, you learn things along the way, and I'm passing on this little bit of advice to you. So students, we have come to the end of the presentation. We took you through our services. We gave you a practical demonstration, and then we gave you advice on how to take care of your certificates. So if you have any questions at this point in time, now is the time to, you know, ask, and we will be ever so happy to respond to you.
Hi, good afternoon.
Thank you very much to our presenters for that extremely informative presentation. Unfortunately, in terms of questions, this format does not allow us to ask questions, but we do have one. I'm hearing one. Miss Ali,
right,
the guidance officer, has joined us.
Right. So I have a question. This is on behalf of the students here as well, because sometimes they ask us the questions.
Yeah.
I wanted to know about partial accreditation and how that exists, because I know some of the courses, not all of the courses in our institutions may be accredited. Even though the institution itself may be accredited, there are certain courses that may not be accredited for their programs. So I wanted to know how can the students bridge that gap in terms of bringing it across? Or do you all state which programs are accredited within the institutions?
Right. Well, to answer your question, we have a document on our website which is called a compendium. It's a list of registered. I will ask my colleague Sarah to share it. So we will point the students to exactly where on the website they can get the compendium. It's a comprehensive list of all the registered and the accredited institutions in Trinidad and Tobago and all the programs that they are approved to offer. Now, in Trinidad and Tobago, the ACTT offers institutional accreditation, right? And so therefore, when our institution goes through this process, it means that they are quality, the institution is quality assured by us, and we list all the programs that the institution offers that they are approved to offer. So my colleague is taking us straight to the compendium now, and we will just click on one of the accredited institutions to show you an example of the list of programs for the accredited institutions. So we have a list of accredited institutions, a list for registered institutions and recognized institutions, as well as foreign awarded bodies and institutions. But Sarah will click on accredited institutions. So we could click on, let's see, NESC. Oh, up, right. Come down one more. Right, NESC, good. And the page is loading, so just bear with us. Great. So on this page now, you see all the information for NESC, the address, the telephone number, the website, and we give stakeholders all the information about the institution, who's the president, the number of programs that they offer, and now we come to the crux of the matter, which is the accreditation status. So they will formally registered, and they are currently accredited, and we put the period for accreditation, and then we also know the satellite campuses, right? And as Sarah scrolls down more, we will see programs that they are approved by us to offer. So there you go, and we have the period of approval, right? And if the program requires specialized accreditation, we note that as well. So we have this for all the institutions that we are quality assured, whether they are accredited or registered, the programs they are approved to offer, as well as the period of approval. So this really is a good resource for students. Even if you're a student at this point in time and you're not too sure what institution you want to attend, browse our website, go on the compendium, and start with the table of contents, read through. We have it nicely sectioned in terms of the registered accredited institutions, and you can choose from those institutions. And if you're still not sure, apply for a statement of recognition. You know the drill. It's 150 TT, minimum 10 working days. You go on the website, fill the online form, and we'll be happy to give you this information, because we don't want you to be like John, who went to school, he graduated, and then he can't really use his certificate to the best of his ability. You want to be able to know that the hard work you put in for your certificate and for your tuition and for your tertiary education, and it amounts to something. It amounts to you getting a job and you being successful in an interview and you performing well on the job. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you very much. It leads me to another question. Noting that we are in pandemic times, a lot of courses are accessible online. So it's easier for the student to have access to courses abroad. Just clarify with me that the ACTT accredits the institutions and the courses that are based for Trinidad and Tobago alone, or the region, right?
What's that? Repeat again?
ACTT accredits the courses or the institutions for the population, for just Trinidad and Tobago or the region, right?
Well, in Trinidad and Tobago, yes, we have a jurisdiction to accredit and quality assurance programs in Trinidad and Tobago. But as we explained earlier, we also can offer the statement of recognition, which speaks to the recognition status of foreign schools and programs.
So exactly how we are the Accreditation Council in Trinidad, there are accreditation councils in each country. And the same thing that we do here in Trinidad, they do in their country. So what we will do is we will make sure that the school and program are accredited by that accreditation council, and then we will recognize it. The same thing goes for students that go to school here in Trinidad and Tobago. Let's say you go to UWI and you go to South Africa to work. The South African Accreditation Council will check with the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago to make sure that UWI was accredited by us. And if it has been accredited by us, they will recognize it in South Africa. So the same thing happens in reverse. When you go to a school abroad, we will make sure by contacting the accrediting body in that country to make sure that school and program are accredited. If it is, then we would recognize it.
I know we have 2 minutes again. I just want to quickly ask, if I am engaged in a course abroad and pandemic closes and everything happens, God willing, everything happens in the best way, and I cannot continue the course across there, and I need to transfer credits, or I need to transfer my course and continue my course in Trinidad and Tobago, I need to get the accreditation council here, or the accreditation council there, to make sure that the course is certified, so I can transfer it and do it down here.
But it all depends on on the institution that you plan to enroll in Trinidad and Tobago, and they looking at the credits that you have earned in the foreign institution, they can make an assessment as to where you can, matriculate into or articulate into any particular institution. So it all depends on the institution that you want to enroll in locally. But that is between yourself and the institution.
Okay, and just one last thing. What is the difference between accredited and registered? I know you may have covered this already.
All right, sure. Well, in the back of the statement of recognition, as I pointed you earlier to, there are the definitions clearly stated there, and we indicate what registration is, what accreditation means, right? But essentially, in Trinidad and Tobago, the first step in quality assurance for institutions is to become registered. And if you are a registered institution and you offer your own programs or your own developed programs, you can apply to become an accredited institution. And that's a whole process involved there. But there's more literature on our website on accreditation and recognition. So I would encourage you to browse. And if you have any further questions, feel free to email us at recognition@actt.org.tt.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Bye.
From the ACTT Council, Student Support Services Division of the Ministry of Education, we're very grateful that you joined us today in this virtual forum. I know that the information you gave would have been very useful to our Form 6 students. We apologize that our forum did not allow for questions, but as we get any questions, we'll be sure to pass them on to you. If you have any questions, you can WhatsApp to 704-0780 for this presentation or any other presentations this afternoon. Thank you, everyone, and please join us for our next provider, which is the University of the West Indies. That will begin at 2:30 in the next 4 minutes. Hey, Jules, Shafara, how things?
Let's focus to the chat, shall we?
Good afternoon, Form 6 students. We will be starting with UE momentarily. Mrs. Gopal, if you want to let the students know your phone number, so if they have any questions, they can WhatsApp you, please.
Students, as we continue and as we hold on for our next presenter from UE, I'm going to leave the WhatsApp phone number with you, which is 704-0780, so that you can send your questions and we will get them on to the presenter. If you send it early enough in the presentation, we may be able to get a response for you right away.
Mr. Bradshaw, are you here?
Yes.
Are you ready to begin?
Yes, ready to begin. As soon as I could share my screen.
I promote you to co-host. You should be able to stream now.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Good afternoon, students. We would like to introduce our next presenter to you, Mr. Nigel Bradshaw, who is with the recruitment part of the University of the West Indies. He will be taking you along for the next 40 minutes, and we welcome you, Mr. Bradshaw. You are a friend of guidance. Welcome and thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for having me.
The mic is very low.
It's low, you're not hearing me so well. You're hearing me better now?
Much better now.
Okay. All right, let me just adjust my headset. Let me know if it goes low again, all right?
Yes, it's low. Can you please?
Better now?
No.
What about now?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Better now?
No.
While we're addressing our technical issues at this moment, please remember to message at 704-0780 WhatsApp any messages that you may have for Mr. Bradshaw during this time and for any other session that we're having for this week, actually. So you can go ahead and you could take that number down. It's 704-0780.
Okay, well, what about now?
That sounds great, Mr. Bradshaw.
Proceed.
Okay, thanks a lot. All right, everyone, good afternoon. Nigel Bradshaw is the name. I am the undergraduate student recruitment officer, University West Indies. I work out of admissions at the University West Indies, so I can share information about the University West Indies. Our purpose being just like any other university, which is to allow students to participate in the analysis and development of new information and data associated with multiple different fields of endeavor and academia. The university provides these for the sake of the development of the space that it serves, which is Trinidad and Tobago and the wider region, And the university, because of persons participating in these things, they are allowed the opportunity to enter into specific professions like teaching, counseling, medicine, engineering, large amounts of different professions. They could start businesses as sole proprietors or merchants in any field as well arising from these professions. And also too, they can become subject matter specialists or resource personnel based on completing higher degrees in education. Okay, so these are some of the things that allow you to be able to become great in what you want to do at the University of West Indies. Okay, so our campus allows persons to be able to study in a large number of different programs at the university. That's why we have 45,000 students studying at the University of West Indies.
Sorry, Mr. Bradshaw, but your mic is very low.
Okay, hold on. What about now? You hearing me?
Yes,
You're hearing me now?
that's perfect. Stay right there. Thank you.
Okay, I guess I just have to shout a little more then. Okay, so the University of West Indies allows students to study in 45,000 persons to study in different areas at the university, at our different campuses. Where are our campuses located? Our campuses are located across the wider English-speaking Caribbean. I go through them in alphabetical order now for you. The Caval campus in Barbados allows the students to be able to study in Barbados at the location that you see on the bottom left of the screen, which includes all the buildings that you see across this slide. Right? It's so close to the sea that it has been always a place if persons want to be able to get some fresh air, they go down to the beach and take in the Caribbean Sea and the fresh breeze that comes in that location right there. Five Islands campus in Antigua, Barbados, started in 2019, allows students to be able to study in 3 different areas: management, education, and also to sport at this small location, which is under continuous construction right now. With the continued construction, in 5 to 6 years, we will have 7,000 to 8,000 students at that campus, including students from Trinidad and Tobago, possibly studying in at least 6 different areas of endeavor. The Mona campus is the largest campus in terms of student enrollment, with 16,000 students. It's the largest physical single campus with 8,000 acres in that location that you see on the bottom left. It also, too, is the oldest campus with 73 years of experience since 1948 when it started with the Faculty of Medical Sciences that you can see on the bottom left of the screen. 33 students at that time, and now they have 16,000 students utilizing all these different spaces that you see in this slide present here. Students from 70 different countries around the world, all of the English-speaking Caribbean, all of the Western Hemisphere is represented at this campus. Large amounts of students from 5 continents as well. The Open Campus allows students to study online from anywhere in the world as well. They have always offered, in fact, since 2008, they offered the opportunity for students to study online. They study online in education, in business areas, in specialized management areas. They study in behavioral sciences as well. And now too, they study online in sport as well. These sites that you see here are just some of the 48 sites that you can find for study with the Open Campus, which is based online. Both before the pandemic and even after the pandemic, they will specialize in those 5 areas of academia. Our St. Augustine campus is the second largest campus of the 5. We have 15,000 students. We have just under 600 acres at the St. Augustine campus. We have the second largest number of programs. We have students from 60 different territories, but we have the only campus that has 8 areas for persons to study from. Okay, you can see some from some pictures here. Our main administration building on the middle right. Our halls of residence on the bottom. The second largest library in Trinidad and Tobago, the Arnold Jordan Library, and other facilities associated with our campus. Like in the middle there, you'd see our Faculty of Medical Sciences as well. Okay, so students, those of you in Form 6, I do hope that you're getting ready. If you're in Upper 6 to come to the university, if you have already applied, very good. I do wish you all the very best in terms of your admission to the programs that you've selected. We want you to be able to understand this, especially students in lower 6. Degree programs at the university are minimum 3 years old. All require 5 CSEC classes for entry. All the programs are in September only. This year we tried a January enrollment. We will not be continuing that again, right? So all programs start in September only. Our undergraduate degrees, for Form 6, it doesn't matter now. Everyone will be doing CAPE subjects or GCSE subjects, I guess, in some cases, for entry to our degree programs. However, some students may decide that they want to switch options in terms of what they want to do down the road. If you haven't yet chosen university study and you want to choose university study based on something other than your CAPE subjects, you can do an advanced certificate or diploma or an associate degree as an option for entry. We have pre-university programs as well, and I'll get into the result later. Our Faculty of Engineering allows students to be able to participate in all of these different programs. For those of you, I think most people know about chemical and civil and electrical, mechanical, right? We have industrial engineering as well. Many students don't know about geomatics. Geomatics being about line of sight technology and mapping and cadastrals and that type of stuff. Very in demand field, right? Especially with continuous infrastructural development and home development all across the region. Land valuation methods, for the same reason, has a lot of interest. And we have a lot of interest now in petroleum geoscience from a number of people in Guyana, of course. Guyana, where the world's largest deposits of oil and gas have been recently found in the last 5 years. Students entering our Faculty of Engineering, I guess, would have had physics and mathematics, and we hope most of you would have physics and additional mathematics. We hope most of you also too would have the chemistry, because chemistry is absolutely compulsory for entry to our engineering program. Notice we don't list technical drawing or anything else. These are subjects we're looking at as compulsory for entry. If these are not on your CSEC listing, you should acquire them before seeking admission to our engineering programs. At the advanced level, all of you doing CAPE most of all. Pure mathematics is compulsory at CAPE, and doing chemistry or physics. For some of you not doing pure mathematics but wanting to do engineering, you're doing probably physics or chemistry, even doing geography. Our pre-engineering program gives you the option to be able to take one more year to qualify for our engineering degree. For some of you that are gung-ho and you apply it now with your mathematics, chemistry, or physics, and you don't get into engineering immediately, you can choose either pre-engineering or the pre-science program, the N1 program, for entry to our engineering faculty. Faculty of Food and Agriculture is the best faculty on the campus. I would say so because I'm a graduate from the faculty, but definitely is more so because of the fact that the attention food and agriculture is getting for food security management in the Caribbean space, especially in Trinidad. If we're going to be able to successfully manage our food import bill and also to manage being able to keep our people from starvation, we're going to have to really look at food and agriculture. We're going to have to look at food and agriculture for other types of industries on the road. Believe it or not, cut flowers, stuff like marijuana production. Yes, marijuana production comes out of food and agriculture. Agricultural technology utilizing hydroponics and solar lighting systems is very much important in cannabis production. The soil science is very much important in it as well. All of these fields here, geography, these are things that you can get involved in our Faculty of Food and Agriculture. You need 2 sciences at the CSEC level. At the CAPE level, you need 1 science subject. You may want to do pre-science if it is you didn't do any science subjects, but you have these CSEC science subjects, right? That is an option for you as well. Students that want to become persons that are involved in industry or in professions that are very expressive. Humanities or human expression is where it is you'll find your grounding. All the VAPA areas, all the language areas, all the communication areas, the written areas, right? Film, theater arts, etc., theology, you name it, we have it in humanities and education. It's a very entrepreneurial based faculty as well, where students are being educated and encouraged to consider the opportunities that exist for them to be able to get into entertainment, into parallel industries for entertainment, etc. Early childhood and primary school education are BEd degrees that we offer, Bachelor of Education degrees that we offer in this faculty as well. Okay? However, if you want to become a secondary school teacher, you don't need a Bachelor of Education degree. You need either a Bachelor of Arts in one of these fields or a Bachelor of Science in any of the other faculties. And once it is you have the qualification, let's say you want to teach social studies, you do sociology, you want to teach mathematics, you teach math, you do mathematics as a degree, you want to do business, you do management studies as a degree, etc., right? But for early childhood and primary education, you do a Bachelor of Education to teach those in Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, these are the subjects that you must have if you're going to be doing humanities and education, especially if you're coming from, these are the ones that you need to have at CSEC. At CAPE, any humanities subject, which would have basically been one of these subjects that you would see here, right? One of these must be doing them at CAPE among a minimum of 2 2-unit subjects. Okay? Our Faculty of Law allows students to do the LLB degree and then the legal education certificate to be able to practice law. So 5 years of study, right? Starting from Form 6, and then you move into practice of law in these fields or anything else. These are just a few that I put up on the board. There are over 600 areas that you can get into as a legal specialist. That's why I always get a little bit perturbed when I hear people saying, well, isn't it field saturated? That's not so. Right? There are opportunities for people to practice in a large number of areas that many of them are underserved currently. Okay? The beauty about this faculty is at CSEC level, there are no specific requirements beyond the English and the mathematics. And at the higher level, at the CAPE level, you need a minimum of 3 2-unit CAPE subjects, and they could be in any combination. No specific subjects are required other than CSEC, mathematics, and English A. Okay? But note though, the GPA at associate degree and advanced certificate should warn you about the quality of grades you should have at CAPE. At CAPE level, looking at students with grades 1 in particular, sometimes a combination of 1s and a 2 would allow you to be able to enter the faculty alone. Reason being, only 150 students are chosen from about 1,000 applications annually for our Faculty of Law. It's the second most sought after program in the university. What is the most sought after program? Right here in this faculty, the top middle there, the medicine and surgery program. Okay, that's the one that everyone wants. About 1,500 students apply every year for just under 300 places available. This faculty.
Oh, we
Yeah?
are hearing you, but it's still a little low. I don't know if there's anything you can.
You hearing me better now?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit better.
Okay. Really, the other presentations, they said it was perfect, you know. I'm not doing anything different. Anyway, well, let's continue. Well, any faculty of medical sciences, you are allowed to study for a minimum of 5 years or 4 years. Let's go through them. 5 years for dentistry, 5 years in medicine and surgery, 4 years for nursing, 5 years for veterinary medicine, 4 years for pharmacy, 4 years for optometry. These are 6 programs at UWI St. Augustine Faculty of Medical Sciences. Now, at CSEC level, all of these are compulsory: physics, chemistry, biology. At the higher level, according to what is being studied, right? Biology and chemistry are compulsory for medicine, dentistry, and veterinary medicine. Chemistry is compulsory for pharmacy. Physics is compulsory for optometry. Okay? The pre-health professions program is not for students in this presentation. That's for students from Tobago and anywhere else in the world. The pre-science program is used by a number of students every year to hopefully give them another opportunity to qualify for the program. Now, persons that are applying for the medical program, because of the high level of competition, I encourage you immediately to do an application for the pre-science program, just in case you don't get into it. Immediately do it. Every year I see people waiting until the very last minute to do the application for the N1, and then it's too late. If you do the application for pre-science now, it doesn't mean that you won't get into medicine. That logic does not follow, right? It's only giving yourself another opportunity just in case you did not meet the specific requirements for entry to medicine and surgery, or to dentistry, or veterinary medicine, or pharmacy, or the optometry program. Okay? The grades for entry to medicine and surgery, dentistry, pharmacy, all ones. Okay? All ones. For the nursing program, if anyone here wants to do nursing, you can still qualify. You did not require CAPE, but if you still want to do nursing, you can still qualify. All the programs require the autobiographical sketch of 250 to 300 words. The nursing program has an interview. The medicine and surgery, dentistry, and veterinary medicine programs have a supplemental sheet too, which I do hope CAPE students that are in upper 6, you have completed already or nearly ready to complete. If you have not done it yet, make certain to get in contact with me via email, please. Not sure how you would not have known that, but make sure you get in contact with me via email to be able to understand what that is about. Now, students entering in medicine and surgery program must be 18 by September 1st, September this year. Okay? 18 plus, 18 and over. If you're 17 at that time, you will be deferred to the next year. Okay? To the BSc nursing program, of course, you can qualify by being 17 plus by December 31st. The Faculty of Science and Technology allows students that really love science or really love applied science to find a home in academia that is going to work towards all the industries arising from science, technology, and mathematics and the applications of those. Take, for example, actuarial science, very much in the center there in the red. Actuarial science is based on mathematics and mathematics reasoning and applied to finance and financial development, right, alongside economics. So in this new world emerging coming out of the pandemic, actuarial science is going to be very much in demand. Okay? But all these fields definitely are going to be in demand because of the need to collect data, because of the need to apply computer science and software technology, information, communication technologies, and otherwise in our in everything that we do, because we now join the global community, right? No matter what you do, the Faculty of Science and Technology is a great place to begin your future careers. 2 science subjects at CSEC are required, and 1 2-unit CAPE subject minimum must be utilized for entry to the Faculty of Science and Technology. Pre-science will give you the opportunity to be able to add advanced level subjects. You can only do pre-science if you did the same CSEC subject. So if you want to do biology in pre-science, you must have biology at CSEC. If you want to do chemistry in pre-science, you must have chemistry at CSEC, etc., etc. And last but not, okay, next 2 program areas, the next 2 faculties. Social sciences allow students to do ACCA qualifications in all the programs listed in the top 2 rows, from accountant to risk management and insurance, and some of the others that do exist that were not listed, like hotel and tourism management and international tourism management and sport management. All of these are ACCA accredited, meaning when you graduate, you are recognized worldwide immediately based on the Bachelor of Science that you completed in those degree areas. The Faculty of Social Sciences also offers behavioral sciences like sociology, social work, psychology, and criminology. And it offers international relations, political science, and government out of the Department of Government Studies as well. All the programs here have no specific requirement other than international relations requiring languages and economics requiring some level of mathematics prowess. Okay? At the advanced level, a minimum of 2 CAPE subjects are normally utilized to begin the process of admission for most students. But take note of the bottom part here for accounting, management studies, and psychology, because of the significant degree of interest in those fields. We find that students should have a minimum of 3 CAPE subjects when entering those. Now, you can have these 3 CAPE subjects entering and don't have accounting or management studies or psychology or sociology at the CAPE level and still be entered and still be considered for entry. Okay? We have a mathematics proficiency test requirement for students entering programs in this listing on the bottom here and did not do these subjects here, either at GCSE or CAPE Mathematics Unit 1 and 2 at CAPE. Okay? Please be aware of that. Don't worry about it. The MPT is normally just a requirement that is done in the first semester for students that want to continue on in the degrees that we list down here. Okay? Definitely, we see a large number of students doing the MPT and being successful and continuing on in the programs that they were admitted to. So please don't worry about it, right? We do feel that many of the students will meet the requirement at the MPT when they begin the degree on campus. And last but not least, the Faculty of Sport offers 2 degrees directly in the faculty and 1 in collaboration with the Faculty of Social Sciences, the sports management degree. Okay, sport kinetics is for students that really thinking a lot about sport and physical therapy. This sport kinetics degree is very much fashioned for students that want to have an understanding of those areas. And then sport coaching, as you would imagine, is very much for students that want to get involved in sport at the technical direction or at the psychological or a combination of the 2 levels, right? Sport coaching. No specific subjects at CSEC required, and just 2 CAPE subjects for entry to the Faculty of Sport. Okay? So, how do you choose from this long list of programs that we gave? Whatever you have a passion for. If you don't have a passion yet, don't worry. You could go right down to the last part there. Spend time with the guidance officer, learning about yourself and developing that passion based on what your guidance officer helps you become aware of that is associated with you and how you have what you have become to this point in time as a human being. Please do not let people tell you what to do, because the worst thing that could happen to you at any university is to choose something that you sit in your classes and it sounds like gibberish and Russian and not anything associated with what it is you might be happy to be participating in. Right? Of course, discuss this information with your parents, because everything in this field is, I mean, at this stage of your life, is all about beginning that initial separation from home. Okay, and also to based on making that separation successful based on the money that you would have to invest at some level or the other. It's not a lot of money at UWI St. Augustine campus. I'll be really very real with you. Lots of students this year, in particular with the pandemic, didn't have accommodation and food costs and that kind of stuff, right? So it was particularly affordable to them, right? But still, though, there are things that you have to meet the cost for, and you have to give consideration for it once you come to our campus. You can find out a lot more about our campus by spending time at our website and finding us on social media at UWI St. Augustine on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Okay, Instagram in particular is where we feel most of our students in your age category go to. And last but not least, if you have never met me before or never interacted with me, this is the way to do it. This is my email address. My email address is available to students to use at all times, but I prefer only 351 days of the year, 14 public holidays for you to rest and relax and to give consideration to things outside of academics and the university. Okay? Not to mention, leave me alone on those public holidays. Right. So that is it for my presentation. I'll leave my email address up and I'll allow persons to start asking their questions immediately.
Thanks, Nigel. Okay, so first question that I have for you is, could you explain the GPA to the students? Because this is a session that is being recorded for them and it's live stream. Because, I mean, from the secondary level, there is no GPA. There's nothing like GPA. And then we bump into UE or we bump into other organizations and it's grade point average GPA. Could you explain that?
Okay, well, being made aware of the fact that CXC is going to be moving into that GPA arrangement very soon, because of the fact that they're going to be utilizing lots of different stuff associated with scores from students gained electronically online to be able to build final grades for students. In the next 2 years, they want to enroll that, right? But for these students, it won't matter because they have left school already. Grade point average. You have points for every grade that you receive at the university, right? The grades, normally the highest grade you could get is an A+, which normally occurs once you cross 85 marks in a specific course. And the lowest grade you could get is, well, you actually could get grade, you could get a GPA, you could get grade points for failing a course, which is unfathomable, but it's real, right? Normally the lowest grade you get is a C-. No matter what the grade, you get more points for a high grade, lower points for a low grade. All the points that you get are total for every grade you get, and they are a mean is taken of the points that you receive. Once that mean is taken, it normally falls somewhere between 1 and 4.5, right? A 4.5 means like excellent. 1 means struggling and need assistance. In fact, with a 1, you might be asked to leave the university and reassess your options before returning a year later. Okay, so that's what GPA means.
Okay, lovely. I have some students who ask about the affiliations of Lockjack and Roytech, noting that parts of they are UE affiliated. So could you go into depth about that?
Okay, Arthur Lockjack Graduate School of Business is affiliated with the Faculty of Social Sciences through the Department of Management Studies. There's plenty to say. But yes, Arthur Lockjack Graduate School of Business, the students attending there, they get degrees from the University of West Indies. The Roytech students, they get certificates and diplomas from the University of West Indies and Roytech. They get degrees from the University of New Brunswick, right? We have arrangements based on the fact that we review the curricula continuously for both institutions. And also to now, well, no, that's different. We have students, even TTHDI, to come to the University of West Indies now too, as they have shut down TTHDI, right? But that's it generally in terms of our arrangement with them.
Okay, so it means that like if I get a certificate at Roytech, it's easier for me to matriculate or to come into UE.
No, it's not easier. You can matriculate, but it is not. I wouldn't say it's easier. You still need to get the GPA and everything, and then contend with everybody else that's applying.
Okay. I know a lot of students ask this, and I know it's a COVID period. Borders are closed in a lot of places. Exchange programs.
Right. I've been waiting for somebody to ask me that. Exchange programs are still taking place now. Just that the exchange program is pretty unique. You go in, like I could tell you, for example, I know about a student right now, he's on exchange at Howard University and he's still in Trinidad, but he's attending all the classes in Howard University while he's a University West Indies student. Right? That's how the exchange programs will work. And you see, this is a situation. With our borders being closed, Minister of National Security said that you could leave, returning as an institute. Okay, and if you're going to go to some far-flung place, like we have exchanges, we have cultural exchanges with China, and we have in our software technology program 2 years of study in Suzhou in the Chinese Institute of Information Technology. Okay, if you go into those places, know that you're going to stay for a little while before you come home. Okay, that's just how it's going to work. Once the pandemic is over, well, let's just pray plenty and hope that it's over soon. Everything will return to normal with respect to that. But thanks for the question.
But further to the exchange program, how do you get into the exchange program once you become a UE student? And does it mean that when I'm finished with the program, I'm certified by UE or I'm certified by the university I'm exchanged with?
Excellent question. You're certified by the University of West Indies with grades attained at the other institution. To apply and qualify for an exchange program, you must have been registered for a minimum of 1 academic year at one of our campuses, and you must have a 3.0 GPA at the end of that year. You would qualify for up to for a minimum of 1 semester and up to 1 academic year of exchange at the other institution, right? Based on the memorandum of understanding for the conduct of the exchange program between us and that institution. That's how it works. But the majority of the exchanges are fully sponsored, which means all you have to come up with is airfare, and you would have tuition covered, you have accommodation covered, you have out-of-pocket covered, you have meal allowance covered at the other institution.
I see another question. Will the semester starting September be online?
Just we under the same jurisdiction as the Ministry of Education as high schools and primary schools. So we, just like principal, your school presently doesn't know what's going to happen in September. We don't know what's happening in September.
Okay.
Hi, we have a question from a student. They're asking about the N1 program. They just want some more information about it. And the second question is, can you transfer from UTT into UE in the middle without completing these a certificate or diploma course?
All right, now I'll answer your latter question first. Don't do that. It creates a lot of headache for you, right? In fact, if you're at this stage now, just apply to UWI. You'll be much better off it. I would really strongly encourage just apply to UWI now and hold on, get into the program that you'd want to. If you don't get into the program, I'm suspecting if you're going to UTT and trying to transfer, it'll be for engineering, right? We have pre-engineering as an option after CAPE. You can do pre-engineering and qualify. In fact, I'll let you all know this immediately and it's official, right? The pre-engineering program would be possibly considered easier than CAPE to enter the UWI Faculty of Engineering. However, you must do CAPE to qualify for pre-engineering. That's just a little bit of a thing in that one. Okay. With respect to the N1 program, the N1 program is 1 year long. It's GATE approved. It's offered by the Faculty of Science and Technology. The program allows students to choose a minimum of 1 subject and a maximum of 3 subjects from this listing of subjects: biology, chemistry, computer science, pure mathematics, and physics. Okay? You could choose up to 3 from those. You could choose a minimum of 1 from those. It runs across 2 semesters, but there is a 3rd semester, which is considered a remedial semester for students who want to upgrade their grades in the subjects that they did. Okay? The 3rd semester is not GATE approved. Okay? The 3rd semester runs from from the beginning of June to the middle of August for persons seeking to utilize it to qualify for another degree program. Okay? And that's it. For the application is a separate one. It's on the website of the University of West Indies and faculty page. Okay? It's at the faculty page for the program itself.
Okay, thank you. And one last question that I have from a student is the Day Bay campus. They want to know when it's going to open and what do they offer?
Not going to open anytime soon. And if it opens, it's not going to be available for students of Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
Do we have any other questions?
Doesn't look that way, but Mr. Bradshaw, on behalf of Student Support Services, we really want to thank you for coming and sharing all this valuable information with our students. You have a special place in our hearts, and we know that you will continue to come to our future events. Thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome. Very happy to have been able to share with you all. Little upset with some of you for not identifying yourselves when you're asking the questions, but I kind of figured out who some of you were. Right? But, always happy to assist. Always happy.
Regulars. Okay, so we go to our next session.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Students, stay tuned. Our final presenter for this afternoon will be the Professional Airline Training Solution. So that should be exciting. So we hold on for them.
This is Gopal. Just give your number out in case anybody has any questions for PROATs before we begin, please.
Our phone number, students, in case you have any questions, it's 704-0780. And I think our guest is in. Good afternoon, our guest from from PROATS.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon.
Hi, welcome. Ministry of Education, we welcome you to our virtual career guidance session. Thank you very much for showing up. We see you in a special place there. So we're looking forward to what you have to present to our students and to excite them. Thank you very much. You can begin and introduce yourself whenever you're ready.
Sure. So my name is Rodney Ragbear, and I'm actually a pilot. I've been in aviation for just over 20 years. I'm a captain with Caribbean Airlines. And at ProATS, we help aspiring pilots and commercial pilots' dreams to come true. So before we start, I have a little video here that will give you a better insight into our operations. So I have Nalini on our command center, and she will be sharing the video with you. So hope you enjoy it.
To thank ProATS for giving me this opportunity to be able to fly a jet simulator. I never thought I would have been in a pilot's seat and being able to control everything. It was honestly an amazing experience, and it was a thrill of a lifetime.
So welcome back, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed that brief video. That's a little insight into our simulator. Our simulator is actually a replica of the Boeing.
Just 1 second. Seems to be on mute, sir. We just need you to.
This afternoon, we will have. I'll introduce you to the flight deck. Tell you a little bit about ProATS. Tell you a little bit about the profession of a commercial pilot. I'll tell you about some of the requirements. And just before we go, we'll have a very interactive quiz where all of you can take part with your smart devices. Okay, so we will actually have a questionnaire, quiz, interactive quiz, and I'll ask you some of the questions that we spoke about in the presentation, and let's see who wins. Okay, so first of all, Boeing, the CEO of Boeing rather, has actually mentioned in a statement about 2 years ago, the next 15 years, we require almost 800,000 commercial pilots. As I mentioned, this is a kind of a replica of a Boeing 737, 800 aircraft. And this is actually the aircraft that Caribbean Airlines flies to New York and Toronto and South America. Okay. I'm sitting in what we call the flight deck. Okay. And the flight deck is actually where we control the aircraft. I'm sitting in the left seat, is where the captain normally sits, and on the right seat is where the co-pilot sits. The only difference between the captain and the co-pilot really is, for the most part, we do the same amount of flying, and we exchange roles. So if we're flying to Toronto, one of the pilots will fly up, and one of the other pilot will fly back to Trinidad. When we take the role of flying, we consider ourselves flying pilot, and the other pilot will be considered the pilot monitoring. This, as I mentioned, is the flight deck, and it has many controls, many lights, switches, buttons. As you can see, this is our autopilot panel. Up here is our overhead panel. Down below is our screens, and our screens actually show us our engine instruments. It shows us our primary flight instruments. It shares our navigational displays. So it allows us to have good situational awareness when we're traveling to and from a destination. We have our flight management computers on board. This is our throttle quadrant here. This is similar to an accelerator of a vehicle, except it's not by your feet. It's positioned in such a way that you would position your hands on it, and you would push it forward to gain what we call engine thrust. Here we have speed brakes, and this is the flaps of the aircraft. This is that's what a fire looks like, a fire indication in the cockpit. And some of you might have experienced or might have heard about the incident with United Airlines out in Denver a few days ago, where one of the engines actually separated and it was on fire. So as a pilot, you're exposed to a lot of dynamic situations. No one day is actually the same. Typically, we have a lot of different weather conditions. We have different traffic patterns. We have different destinations. We're meeting different people. I mean, like I said, it's a very, very dynamic environment. If you ask me, I think we have the best office in the world, because we sit at 37, 39, 41,000 feet in the air. It's great. We have the best view. We don't have any boss looking over us. Once we're trained well, we're certified to sit in the cockpit and perform our flight duties to take passengers to and from our home base to their destination safely. Okay. At Caribbean Airlines, the minimum requirement is, at the moment, it's 5 O levels. English and math is mandatory. Now, those requirements have not changed over the years. So typically you have a lot of pilots with degrees joining the airline. We have a lot of experience levels, some with 2,000 hours, 500 hours, 3,000 hours. It really varies. Of course, the more you have under your belt, the better opportunity you have of becoming a pilot. But as I mentioned earlier with the statement from Boeing's CEO, is that soon they're going to have a serious demand. I mean, we were already showing a heavy demand for pilots pre-COVID. COVID has come along. It's stagnated the airlines industry. It has unfortunately made it very challenging. But that's just a temporary situation. And before you know it, everything will bounce back and everyone will be back up in the air, doing what we love to do. Flying's always been one of my passions. I actually grew up in Canada. I lived in Canada for 35 years. It was always my dream to return home and fly for the national carrier. By the grace of God, all my dreams came true, and here I am. I've opened up the facility to help, as I mentioned earlier, other dreams come true as well. Okay. Just some interesting notes here about the cockpit. The wingspan of this aircraft is about 112 feet. This is what's known as the flight deck, and attached to the flight deck, which is the long part of the aircraft where we call the cabin, is actually the fuselage of the aircraft. We also have the different controls. We have the vertical, horizontal controls, the vertical stabilizers. That's all terminology that you would be only too well familiar with when you start flying. Our fuel, this aircraft actually takes about just about 12,000 kgs of fuel on an average day. Its endurance is about 6 hours flying time. So it's what we call a medium range aircraft. The Boeing 767, which I flew for Caribbean Airlines, and I flew to destinations such as like London, Gatwick. Of course, that was able to carry a lot more fuel because it was what we call a wide body aircraft. And the wide body aircrafts, of course, have very big tanks. Okay? The fuel is actually stored in the wings and the belly of the aircraft. Okay? As I mentioned, this is the autopilot panel, and the aircraft has a lot of redundancy systems. It has backup systems backing up the backup systems, backing up the backup systems. We have a lot of resources. We have air traffic control. We have another crew member on board. We have TCAS, which is what we call traffic collision avoidance system. We have so many warning systems that and that's why flying is considered the safest form of travel. So as well as a well-trained crew, we have very sophisticated aircrafts or machinery in the sky to take us from point A to point B safely. So with that, I'll ask you to feel free to ask me any questions before I move along here. Does anyone have any questions so far?
I actually do have a question. Noting that becoming a pilot and being a pilot is an awesome job and it's a very specialized field. What kind of mindset would you expect the pilots to have? Because I mean, to be flying and to have everybody else on the plane with you, could be stressful at times. What kind of mindset would you recommend for a student to have? And how do you all help with acclimating or helping the student to develop that type of mindset?
Well, it's a really good question, actually, because a lot of the training that goes into pilots, very little is really on controlling the aircraft. I mean, of course, you have to acquire a commercial license, but a lot of the training is from the cognitive aspect, what we would call CRM, crew resource management. We will have, critical thinking, thinking outside the box, because should a situation arise, we need to be able to handle that situation as effectively as possible. We need to have, develop skills such as, effective communication, decision-making skills. So, I mean, there's probably about somewhere in the vicinity of 300 or 400 soft skills, if you will, that is involved in the training process of pilots. You need to know when to be assertive, but yet sometimes diplomatic. We need to be able to think very, very quickly. Again, it's not so much about being reactive, but it's about being proactive. So instead of just thinking how to get out of a situation, our mindset is always thinking how not to get into the situation, and we do that by what we call situational awareness. Situational awareness is knowing all of the information, or as much information as possible as you can, about your flight and your route of flight and the challenges that you may face during your flight. In terms of development here at ATS, we actually specialize in that. And a lot of our training, we have different divisions there. And our training is actually, we train the military, we train large organizations such as Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission. We train oil and gas sectors. So we specialize in that field. So not just flying. Flying is just one of the areas that we specialize in. But a lot of our other areas that we train are, we adopt training aids, concepts, and philosophies from the aerospace industry. And it allows us to help one achieve their optimum performance. In fact, we have a educational side as well. That educational division, we've increased percentages by over 200% of individuals from standard 1 all the way up to Form 6 levels. So again, it's just simply by adopting the training aids, concepts, and philosophies from the aerospace industries. So we can put you on the right path. We can teach you the necessary skills, as long as you are receptive to it. We only too happy to share our expertise and our secrets with you.
What are the qualifications to become a pilot in Trinidad and Tobago?
Right. So at the moment, the requirements course, would be a Trinidad and Tobago commercial pilot's license. And Caribbean Airlines, the minimum requirements for Caribbean Airlines is actually 5 O levels and English and mathematics being mandatory. The others are optional, but you must have 5 O levels. I think, as I mentioned earlier too, the more that you have, the better it is for you. The better chance you have of being hired by the airlines. Presently, we have a lot of, or most participants are coming out with degrees. So they have they also have commercial pilot's license as well as degrees, and maybe they have some flying time behind them as well. But the minimum requirements, again, just to reiterate, is a commercial pilot's license, 5 O levels, and at least 250 hours of flying time, depending on what type of license you have.
Okay, thank you. We have a question coming from a student. They want to know about certification, if this program that you're offering here with the simulation, if there's any certification, and they want to know where's the location.
Certainly. We are located in Trin City. Just, I'm not sure if many of you are familiar with WebSource. There's Lot 25 Reserve Road in Trin City Business Park. And it's just behind Bagwan Singh's by the airport. We're just about 2 minutes away from the airport. Our programs, you will acquire a certificate from our organization on completion of the programs of your choice, on successful completion of the programs of your choice. Our certification and our programs are really not. It benefits you in many ways. It's not accredited by any bodies. How our students benefit from our programs is that they do a lot of the learning in our facility. For instance, when I started flying, I didn't have the luxury or the benefit of coming to an organization like this. So when I got into the aircraft, I had to fly and learn as I went along. Our students save a lot of time, effort, and money through coming through our organization, because they're able to sit in a flight simulator such as the one that we're sitting in now, and learn all of the flight maneuvers that are required for successful completion of a private pilot's license, instrument rating, and of course a commercial pilot's license. One of the other benefits as well is, aside of saving time, effort, and money, the students actually become very confident in their ability to fly, because at a very early stage in your career, probably about 15 hours, you'll be flying an aircraft by yourself. It'll be a much smaller airplane, of course, but the instructor will take you up, teach you some of the basic maneuvers, and then you'll have to fly by yourself. You'll have to build up time on your own. And that's where a lot of our students gravitate towards us, is because they want that level of comfort, and they want that level of confidence. And I must say, probably about 75% of our students are actually flying with the airlines now. Some of them don't even make it back to Trinidad because they were offered jobs abroad. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you. And I also think it's a great opportunity for the students to understand that your program offers that great insight into becoming a pilot, a commercial pilot. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I wanted to ask, could you give me a step-by-step process of a student, a new flyer who is entering the system, coming into ProArts, and what they would have to go through in the program in order to become a certified commercial pilot?
Okay, another good question. Now coming to ProArts is not mandatory, as I would have mentioned. You don't need to come to ProArts. A lot of our students come to us because they want to excel. You could actually go straight to flight school, but you would spend probably more time and a lot more money. A lot of our students have saved $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 US in acquiring licenses, but just by attending our programs. The initial entry level into ProATS will be what we call a private pilot preparation program. And it prepares you. It's 20 hours in our simulator. It's our ground school, interactive ground school. We have both online and in-house training. That will help you to acquire your private license. Secondly, we have an instrument rating preparation program, and that will again help the student to excel in their instrument flying. We have also a multi-engine preparation program, which will teach the students all of the fundamentals of flying two-engine aircrafts. And should one of the engines fail, how do we handle it? And one of we have a term called CRM. It stands for Crew Resource Management. And we are one of the only organizations in Trinidad that actually have a simulator of this type, and we're able to. You can't see it now, but I have off to behind my back here to the left. We have an instructor station, and where the instructor sits, and the two crew can actually start to converse and operate just as they would in the airline as a crew, and see how they would resolve a potential problem, if you will. We can, as I said, we could fail anything. We could fail displays, we could fail systems, we could fail engines, you name it. So that's really the progression or the steps that one would go through with ProATS. So again, to recap, they start with a private pilot preparation program. They can move into our instrument preparation program, our multi-engine preparation program, and then we also have advanced programs. Some students elect to do it before they go to flight school. Others who have acquired a commercial pilot license actually come here, and then they go through some of our advanced programs. And those advanced programs are really designed to help you to excel in your career, essentially. When you get hired, or the hiring process of Caribbean Airlines, there's two main aspects of any interview with pretty well any carrier, and one of those steps would be the interview itself with a panel of individuals, and they would ask you questions. The interview has actually moved from technical interview more to a personal interview, because now they really want to know, who's this individual. We know they can fly because they have a pilot's license. So it's not so much really about what you know, because they know that you know at least the minimums, and then from there they build you. But before that, they want to make sure that you actually can work as a team, and that's where the interview is really going. Can you work as a team? Can you think outside the box? Can you, how would you react in this situation? So, and the other aspect of the hiring process is what we call a flight assessment. The flight assessment is where they would put you in a simulator like this, and they would ask you to perform certain maneuvers in the simulator, and that is their way of evaluating you as a pilot to see exactly how well or how much do you know and how well can you perform in the simulator. Some interviews or some flight assessments could be very basic, and some could be very dynamic. When I say very dynamic, I'm more referring to them making the situation more complex as it goes along, because they would like to see how much they can push you before they make a decision. I mean, there is a certain level of that everyone will be assessed on. But if you're doing really good, then by all means they could push you to the next level and say, wow, let's see how. I mean, this person's doing really, really good. Let's see how much better they can do. So that's always a good sign as well.
I have another question. I don't know if you have time to show us a demo or if that is at all possible.
A demo? Sure. I could do that. What time do we have there? Give us a time check.
We have 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay.
You're going to fly us somewhere?
we do have an interactive quiz that we wanted to share with you. Are we the last appointment for today?
Yes. Yes, this is our last session for the day.
Okay.
How long is the quiz going to take?
The quiz might be about 15 minutes. Yes. It might be about 15 minutes by the time everybody signs in and goes through the questions.
Oh. Okay. Well, we just have about 10 minutes left. So I don't know if you would like to, I don't know, send us the quiz questions for later, or if you'd like us to do it now.
So, what do you think if we do the quiz now? And for those who are interested, who would like to stay on, I could do a takeoff and a landing, and that would run us into extra time. But would that be okay with you?
Yes, okay. Yes, let's get the quiz on the way then.
Okay, so here we go. I have Nalini at the control center here, and Nalini is going to activate the quiz.
right, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I'm Nalini. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Nalini.
All right, now to get started with our quiz, right? You can visit bravozone.us, right? So it's the top of our screen, bravozone.us. You can enter it in your web browser. It would ask for an ID. You can enter 0053. Then it would prompt you to enter your name and select a team. If it's easier for you, I could send the URL on the chat, but you can just click on it and it will carry you to the site.
Okay. Yes, probably you can, you may have to leave it with us because at this moment, the students can only see, but I'm not sure if they can actually interact with us.
Yes, they can.
Okay.
Yeah, once they're able to see the screen, even if they log on, once they get the logon information, the questions would show up on their device as well.
So whether you're looking at it from a tablet, a computer, or a phone, you'll be able to take part in the quiz.
Okay, so it's the link and the ID is sent on the chat. And I also know we are live streaming, so for those of you who can't see our screen, you can just enter bravozone.us. Your ID would be 0053 and select a team. We have one person on the blue team.
What do we have to do? Click on it?
Yep. So once you get into your browser, you can put in bravozone.us, and it should bring you to a screen where it will ask you to enter your ID, and just put in 0053, and then it'll ask you to join a team, and you can press the red team or the blue team.
It would also ask for you to enter your name as well.
All right. Hey, there we go. They're coming in now. So we have 3 people on the red team, 1 person on the blue team. So those of you who are joining, we can get some more people on the blue team. Great, there's somebody else on the blue team. Okay, so just in the interest of time, maybe we'll launch the quiz.
Mm.
Okay, so category 1 for 100 points. The 737 is the highest selling commercial jet airliner. True or false?
And for those of you who are not able to log in and would like to enter, you can also do so even though the quiz is in its process.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the 737 is actually the highest selling commercial jet airliner. Hey, 200 points. What is the wingspan of a 737?
Okay, but unfortunately I think our time is up and the thank you slide has come on.
Okay.
Oh, it was very nice to have you all. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do the amazing quiz. Maybe if you visit individual schools by arrangement with the guidance officers, I'm sure that'll be a fun activity. So on behalf of Student Support Services, we want to say thank you for presenting today, giving us a little insight into the world of flying. Thank you very much. I'm sure our students were very happy and excited to see and to hear. Sorry we missed that flight. I think we want to book again for another flight.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you for joining with us.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.